really explain what Trump or his staff were thinking when they put those racial remarks or videos on social media. Welcome to the JLW podcast. If I said it before, I'll say it again. We need to pull together. Our first topic is, let's discuss the racial remarks coming from Trump's mouth, calling former President Obama and former First Lady Obama apes/monkeys. Let's take a look at this clip as Reverend Al Sharpton and Dr./Pastor Franklin Richardson and Pastor Dr. Delman Coates discuss together why Trump is not fit to be president. Let's take a look at this video.
Politics Nation, black pastors are mobilizing in response to President Trump's immigration raids in Minneapolis and other American cities. At the same time, the president's attacks on black accomplishments are on gross display with this week's video depicting the Obamas as apes. It is galvanizing black faith leaders as they gear up to deliver souls to the polls this November. Joining me now is Reverend Dr. W. Franklin Richardson, senior pastor of the Grace Baptist Church in Mount Vernon, New York, and Reverend Dr. Delman Coates, senior pastor of Mount Enon Baptist Church in Clinton, Maryland. Both are board members of National Action Network. In fact, Dr. Richardson is the chairman of the board. Thank you for joining us tonight. Before we go further, I have to get your brief reactions to the video shared by the president depicting the Obamas as apes in a jungle. He's not apologizing. How do we fix that at the ballot box at the same time he's talking about nationalizing elections? Reverend Richardson, let's start with you.
Yeah, I think, first of all, we're all appalled, and it comes as an indictment on him right at the beginning of this 100th anniversary of the history of African American Month, the month of African American history, where we're celebrating the history of black people in this country, that the president would be so deranged in his thinking that he would make such an assault on the contribution of black people in this country by assaulting the first black president and his wife. It is intentional. It is intentional harassment. And what is worse is that there are too many people who are silent, and by their silence affirm his conversation. There should be an outrage, not just by black people, not just by pastors. There should be people who are standing up, who are all races, standing up for what is a direct assault on the accomplishments that we have made as a people in this country. It is appalling, and we must take it on, and it ought to motivate us even more. We already were motivated to vote. We've got to do even more.
Pastor Coates, your turn.
Like Dr. Richardson, I was deeply disgusted when I woke up yesterday to see those racist images on social media. And what we need now is accountability. You know, the buzzword in November was affordability, but the issue now this year has to be about accountability. And right now, faith leaders, activists, and organizers all across the country are doing their part to hold this administration accountable for the efforts they're taking right now to steal and to undermine our democracy.
Now, a year ago, President Trump has torn open a rupture in our nation between what he and his supporters believe they can do under the guise of law.
As you can see, Reverend Coates and Reverend Richardson both spoke on this topic, and as leaders of the black community, they let us know the way to kill evil is to get out and vote. We need you to get out and vote. We need you to vote for the right candidate as governor of your state. We need to put the right people in the right places. We know Trump, he says racial things, but he's not racist. He goes at it the racial way, but he's not racist. His people talk about Obama and Michelle Obama like they're thugs and thieves and not even human beings, but he's not racist. And he does not fire them, does not punish them. They have no discipline. So guess what? We're fighting a tough battle, which I know we can win. Because with God, we can do all things but fail. Reverend Richardson and Reverend Coates both spoke out clearly. The way to kill evil is to get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. It can't be heard inside the house. It can, but it needs to be heard outside. A pastor said before, he's not hiding behind the pulpit. He's going to the streets and beyond, trying to pull a soul in. Reverend Coates, Reverend Richardson, they are out there trying their best to get Black African American people, white, Hispanic, and all, to vote for the right governor for your state. As we know, Alabama, Ms. Kay Ivory is retiring or stepping down as governor, and we're looking to get another governor to cover her place. We need the right governor. We need the right person that's going to stand for the black, the white, the purple, the yellow, the Indian, the green, and the blue. Not just for one particular race. Reverend Coates, Reverend Richardson said, get out and vote. Let your voice be heard at the ballot box. Let's see what former President Obama and Maryland Governor Wes Moore had to say about Trump allowing this to happen, and or it to be put out on social media and every platform and nothing be done. Take a look.
The majority of the American people find this behavior deeply troubling.
On a weekend podcast, he said those in the White House appear less disturbed.
There doesn't seem to be any shame about this among people who used to feel like you had to have some sort of decorum and a sense of propriety and respect for the office, right? So that's been lost.
The administration's initial response to the racist post came from Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who said, please stop the fake outrage. But after a flurry of Republican leaders spoke out against the post, the White House blamed a staffer and removed it.
Have you fired or disciplined that staffer who posted the video from your account that included the Obamas?
No, I haven't. That was a video on, as you know, voter fraud. And fairly long video, and they had a little piece and had to do with the Lion King.
In a town hall that aired Sunday on CBS, Maryland Governor Wes Moore also spoke about the video and addressed whether he believes Trump is a racist.
I think the question of is he a racist should be posed to him, but frankly, I think his actions probably give the answer before he even has a chance to answer it himself.
In a new statement tonight, the White House accuses Governor Moore of trying to incite division with those comments and says no one has done more for the black community than Trump. Tony.
Weijia, while we have you, leaving that subject but sticking with President Obama and this podcast, he also said on that podcast that aliens are real. Do tell us more.
So, Tony, Obama initially said they are real, but he has never seen them. But later he clarified on social media, writing, statistically, the odds are good that there's life out there.
Obama lets us know that he's not worried about Trump and his shenanigans. Wes Moore said in an interview when she asked him how did he feel about not being invited invited to the governor's, might as well say, ball or meeting. Trump said he didn't want to see his face. He didn't want to see him come. He didn't want his presence to be known. Westmore said he doesn't care if it's a Trump party. He doesn't care if it's a bigot party. He doesn't care if it's something to parade him around. And I'll be honest with you, other governors need to wake up and smell the coffee. Like, literally, Trump has showed you who he really is. Showed you that he'll go beyond and further beyond to humiliate the United States of America, to make us look like fools. People, we have to wake up. We got to get smarter. If Obama can let it roll off his shoulder, we can too. If Governor Westmore can ignore his comments and his words being put out there on X or his interviews, then guess what? We can too. Remember the words of Reverend Coates and Reverend Richardson. As they told you, the way to kill evil is to get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. Don't just vote on because they're black. Don't vote on it because they're white. Don't vote on because they're going to cater your needs. Vote for the right governor. That's going to help your state. Because you're going to need some sooner or later. And having the right governor in there is going to change a lot. It's going to change a lot. There are no words to really explain what Trump or his staff were thinking when they put those racial remarks or videos on social media or the TV. His staff does not care about the United States. Trump do not care about the United States. Trump's hand is in every cookie jar out there. That's another reason he had to get back into the White House. Trump do not care about you. He cares about power. He cares about billions. He cares about living a lavish luxury lifestyle that he has been living for decades. His staff, his team is going to do exactly what Trump says to do. And if President Trump tells them to put out a tweet on Twitter, they're going to do exactly that. And he's not going to punish them, nor yell at them, nor fire them. But if they don't, he's going to retaliate. And Trump has said a lot. Sometimes I don't even like looking at him on TV because I know it's something stupid be said, and I got to listen to it and take it and try to mix it up with what I'm going to talk about on the next episode. But at the end of the day, we need to stand for what's right. What's right, it wins. But if we always just fall for anything, we're always going to be in the predicament that we're in now. To the people that think Trump has done more for us as a whole than any other president, feel free to comment in the box. I'm talking about whatever you got to say. Bring it. If you think Trump has done more for the blacks, more for the United States, that's a separate question. If you think Trump has done more for the blacks, comment. If you think Trump has done more for the United States than any other president, guess what? Comment. I want to hear what you have to say. I want you to voice your opinion. Let's go back and forth. Let's debate about what Trump is doing now. Then what he did the last 4 years is helping the United States grow. On some of his policies, I understand, I follow him. But on this nonsense that he has been bringing up in the past 4 or 5 months, guess what? It's uncalled for. It's really uncalled for. But please like, comment, and share this video if you find it useful, in any way. Let's see what Candace Owens has to say about Trump. And she discusses the Epstein cases. And then Trump's son speaks out as well. It's all right here. Take a look.
Ever going to be able to forgive Trump for making me do what I'm about to do, the unthinkable. I am going to have to defend Barack Obama. I can't believe this. That's how bad the fallout is right now over Jeffrey Epstein. It just continues. And Trump seems to be hitting rock bottom in terms of communicating on this particular topic. And I'm looking back and I want Covfefe Trump back, Covfefe Trump back. That guy seems to be gone. Also, you guys, I'm kind of worried about Tucker Carlson's life, and I'll tell you why. Welcome back to Candace. Where do we begin? Okay, I think we should at first start with a montage that was actually put together by Breakthrough News. It's good to do this just to remind ourselves that we're not going crazy on the topic of Epstein. Take a listen.
How is it that my father could be convicted of 34 crimes, but no one on Epstein's list has even been brought to light? I'm trying to figure out how that's possible, right, folks? It's almost like they're trying to protect those pedophiles for some reason. I can't imagine why, right?
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
Everybody in politics has a vice that's much worse than alcoholism, is the way that I put it. But we
release the list.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients. Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump.
In this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We have flight logs, we have information, names that will come out.
I'm not ever going to let this story go because of what I heard from a source about Bill Clinton on a plane with Jeffrey Epstein. I'm not letting it go ever. Ever.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable.
All of these people are in power now. All of these people could certainly release the quote unquote list. Is it exactly a list? Is it a network of contacts? Is it video footage of people that committed crimes against children? We don't know. And we may never know. In case you did not pay attention to what was termed Pizzagate back in 2016, the short of it is that the DNC email server got hacked, and off of those emails, they were published publicly by Julian Assange WikiLeaks, and there was a strange amount of references to pizza parties, grown adult men, government employees, men, referring to pizza in ways and within a context that made it seem as though they obviously were not referring to literal pizza, having had parties on ranches and referring to pizza. I'm going to give you an example here. This email went to John Podesta. It was sent to him from someone named Catherine Tate. These are very old, obviously, or else we would have hidden her email. She writes, "Hi, John. The realtor found a handkerchief. I think it has a map that seems pizza related. Is it yours? They can send it if you want. I know you're busy, so feel free not to respond if it's not yours or you don't want it." Also, weird specific orders of pizza and hot dogs. That was the beginning of that entire scandal that they tried to downplay and pretend that it was crazy. Well, I should let you know the FBI has already formally acknowledged that pizza is used as a code word amongst. So that's not an illusion. That's real. No conspiracy needed. Epstein emails. People are diving back in there. What are we to make of these 900 plus?
Let's talk about Jeffrey Epstein cases. Mr. Jeffrey Epstein was born on January the 20th, 1953, in Brooklyn, New York. He passed away August the 10th, 2019. They said cause of death was suicide. He has many job descriptions. He was a broker, a financer, investment banker, investor, and a criminal. He was all the above. I watched a video on TikTok and it showed how he came from a salary of $200,000 to a millionaire, and really truly a billionaire before he died. He conned, he went this way, he went that way. He did what it took to become rich. And that's what a lot of folks are doing these days. They're doing what it takes to be rich because they want to fit in a environment that looks good for them. I'm going to say this. I said before on Facebook, just because you have a degree in so many different aspects in life does not make you smarter than any other person. Maybe you wanted to go to school. Maybe that person didn't want to go to school. Maybe you wanted a degree. Maybe the other person didn't want a degree. But if you don't have common sense, you're not going to go far, because him being book smart, Mr. Epstein, didn't get him in those doors, to be exact. But him having common sense to say, I can take this, flip this, drop that, pick it back up, make it work, and then present it, and then, they're going to accept it. And then we have another thing is he was white. And we know I'm not racist at all. I have a lot of white buddies and whatnot. Being white gets you a lot of privileges in life. It takes you farther than being a black person. And with him being a banker, a financer, an investor, a broker, a criminal, he was in these different videos that is right now blowing up the internet. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X. It's blowing up in every social media. And even on Channel 5, Channel 10, every now and then they'll talk about these Epstein's cases and these files that are coming out, will come out, won't come out, been leaked, have not been leaked. Everybody's talking about it. They have different names in there that they talk about, bring up, say they was having sexual conduct with different kids on different islands. And it's sad. And then we have our president of the United States get charged with 30 different cases, but still became the president of the United States. Plus, he's on these videos. But yet, he's still the president of the United States. I'll say it like this. If it was Obama, Obama would have been threw in prison, impeached, and thrown away the key. But because it's who he is and the color that he has on his skin, they're giving him a pass, or really not looking into the debt of the Epstein's files. Let's take a look at this video of Miss Candace Owens speaking out about the Jeffrey Epstein files. Take a look.
You have to wonder, I don't believe, and I know that some of you guys in the comments, you're really mad at me about this, by the way. I said, I don't believe that Trump is in the Epstein files. You're like, Candace, come on. He's obviously in the Epstein files. I maintain, I am being genuine with you when I say that I really do not think that Trump is in these files in a way that he's nervous about coming out. I just don't see that. Do believe, however, that he could be motivated to protect someone else that is, or to protect somebody else who would be implicated by this blackmail scandal. He definitely is somebody that I think would move mountains to protect his children. I would almost say, especially Ivanka, but there is something about this story of Jared Kushner and Ivanka that is now making me uncomfortable. I think it made a lot of people in the MAGA movement uncomfortable that Jared was so intimately involved. He was the person that had Trump's ear. Everybody knew that if you wanted to get something done, you went through Jared. Okay, Jared was running the White House the first term. But then when Jared left his post at the White House, suddenly we learn that Saudi Arabia injects $2 billion into his fund. That happens as soon as he leaves the White House, and then her father is running again, and Ivanka's nowhere to be seen. When I say nowhere to be seen, but she was so unaffected, she didn't even dedicate a post to voting. The night before the election, I don't know if you guys remember this, Ivanka took to X while everyone's worried about whether or not we're going to have a country. She did a birthday tribute to herself. It was the post the night before the election. She wrote, "This past week I turned 43. So it wasn't even like it was her birthday eve. It was the week before she turned 43. She wrote, "Reflecting on life's lessons, here are some truths that I've learned along the way. 1, family and friends are everything. 2, forgive people. It frees you. 3, everyone's a teacher." I'm like, wow, that's nice. That's what's concerning you. We're all on edge. We're all biting our nails off here. And then I realized, wow, this means that she is not impacted one way or the other. It means that they have classed into that part of society where elections don't matter because your family's good. Who is trying to drop? And Jeffrey Epstein, who worked on behalf of the Rothschilds, according to him, he wrote that in an email.
As you can see, Candace Owens says she has to speak out. It didn't went too far. Shout out to Miss Candace Owens. I love her podcast. Listen, something has to be done. Something needs to take place. Something has to come across somebody here in leadership. At the White House, at the governor's party, somebody got to take responsibility and say enough is enough. We need Trump impeached. We need something done to Trump to show the United States that he's not above the law. He cannot do what he wants to do when he wants to. Even though he has the Speaker of the House, Vice President, whoever, the Republicans behind him, he's still not above the law. Also, let's take a look at these people who this reporter is giving out names on the Jeffrey Epstein files. That shocked me. If it's true or not, I don't know. But these are the same people that have been shown on different videos. How much they worth and all that different things. And it's not just white folks. You got 1 or 2 black people on there as well. Again, I get my videos as we go. You got to understand that this right here is a serious issue that need to be dealt with immediately. But these are the names that this person or whomever this channel belongs to has put out some names for us to look at how much money they have, and it's like trafficking kids, having sex with 12 and 13-year-old. Who does that? It's sick. I'll be honest with you, and I'm trying my best to stay in the guidelines of YouTube. I feel like Kevin Gates. If you touch a child, you should die. Do I have the right to kill you? No. Do I want to kill you? It comes up, it comes to anybody I see that has touched a child. If you rape a woman, you should die. I'm going to be honest with you. No threats or whatnot been put out there. But if you rape a child, you shouldn't live. And I know you probably would want to live to do it again, but you shouldn't live. And the way our government is set up, the way our police are set up, the way the United States is set up, a lot of criminals with big bank, a lot of money, is getting a pat on the back. And people that don't have the money, they're getting thrown in jail, thrown in prison for life. Okay, if an average person can do these crimes and go to jail for 30, 40 years, why can't the ones with the billions, with the millions, with the trillions, with the 100,000s be charged the same way? It's sad. It's not okay, but it's the life that we're living. And the life that we're living is unsafe. And something needs to take place. Again, take a look at this video.
Epstein files dropped, and these celebrities suddenly left the country. Jay-Z, named in recent Epstein-related allegations, immediately went on a European tour. Paris, London, Milan, stayed overseas for months. Beyoncé by his side, no American interviews. Prince Andrew immediately fled to Scotland after being named, stayed at the Queen's estate. Royal protection couldn't save his reputation. Ghislaine Maxwell, British socialite, tried to hide in New Hampshire first, then planned to flee to France. FBI caught her before the plane took off. Peter Mandelson, UK diplomat, resigned and left for Europe within days of his name appearing in documents. The timing was loud. Naomi Campbell, flight logs showed her on Epstein's plane. She disappeared to Kenya for months. Posted from her compound. No interviews. Les Wexner, Victoria's Secret billionaire, gave Epstein power of attorney over his fortune. Suddenly spent more time at his European estates than Ohio. The Epstein...
Say that. I mean, every time we show you things, even when we showed you the CERN activity that was happening, which somebody caught on tape, they just came out and were like, oh, we were just faking. That was just like fun. That's what scientists do. They dress up in the middle of the night and pretend to stab women before a statue of Shiva. That's kind of what they told us about CERN. I just don't know how much could be in our face anymore before we wake up and realize these people are ruling over us and they win when we're fighting with each other. That's just the reality. I really don't see how you can have a ton of success in Hollywood and not be in the club, because Hollywood was founded upon this. Hollywood Babylon, we spoke to you about this. In our book club, they quite literally imported people from Vienna, where Sigmund Freud was, or his boys were. They imported them and they made them directors, they made them actors, they made them actresses, and they were tasked with destroying Christianity, just as they were doing upon the European continent. I don't have time to tell you guys about World War II. Just assume that everything that they told you is incorrect. And
it's sad. Again, it's sad. That all of these millionaires and billionaires, if this is true, how sexually assault young black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican kids. If this is true, justice needs to be served. Because if it can happen to an average person that only have $10 to his name, it needs to happen to a person that has billions, millions, and trillions. That is a sex offender. That need to be thrown behind bars and locked up for the rest of their life. Again, Trump and his administration sucks. But y'all voted him in. Even though Alabama is a Republican state, doesn't mean we got to be a Republican. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I just voted for the other person because I think she was the best option. I really do. I think that she was the best option for us. Really and truly. Like, no ifs and buts about it. I didn't even have a second thought. We need somebody in the White House that can do the job. And I think Harris was the right person to pick. I really and truly think she was. If you think this video helps you in any way, or you want to comment, you want to leave a thumbs up, thumbs down, you want to subscribe to this channel, please do. I do want you to come back and let me know what you think about this podcast. Like, it's just real. Like, I don't really edit this video or any other video to the T. Like, I'm on the phone right now. Like, I'm going to look up a name and I'm going to do it while you're on here. Like, it's sad that we're in the predicament that we're in, but this is what y'all wanted. This is what y'all want. This is what you're going to get. Ms. Harris, I salute you. Mr. Biden, I salute you with both hands, because you stood for the American people. Even though people say that Biden was racist and all these different things, I didn't look at him as a racist person. I looked at him as a fair person. Like, his wife is a school teacher, which I think she still is. You know, and so forth and so more. Again, if you like this channel, please subscribe. And if you got something to say, excuse me, please do. A big shout out to the Florida Gators basketball team. Today we beat Ole Miss 94-75. Y'all, if our football team didn't really suck this year for real, like, we beat Florida State, who beat Alabama the first game of the season. So if we had enough to beat Florida State, I believe we could have beat Bama. I really do. I really think we could have beat Bama this year. So we beat Florida State, and Florida State beat Alabama. So what they tell you? But our basketball team won national championship, the championship last year. And shout out to my Gators. We can't beat them one way, we'll beat them all another. Like, go Gators. The quote of the day come from MLK. Intelligence plus character. That is a goal of true dedication. The last quote. Let no man pull you so low as to hate them. Please, ma'am, please, sir, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. I pray that each and every one of you have a great rest of the day or a great rest of the night. May God continue to keep you. It is my prayers. Let's continue to pray for the United States and our soldiers and each and every one in a respectable place. The next topic will be about the same. Nothing gonna change. Like, we in politics, like, heavy. Please, ma'am, please, sir, do me a favor. Place love in your heart. Because if you don't got love in your heart, guess what? You're subject to hate. And we already got enough hatred in the world. Again, if you like this channel, subscribe. And if you got anything to say to me, please leave it in the comments. Until next time, may God keep you, is my prayer. I love you. Deuces.